this segues like kind of nicely into another direction that I want to go in. And like everything we've covered so far, right? Especially like, like along your story and your journey, there's obviously been so much like intuition and callings to go and do what you've done. I'm curious, like from your perspective now, what you see as spiritual growth and like what role the spiritual growth has played in your life.
Wow. Well, I think that, throughout the last however long it's been, like the last decade or so, um, there have been several like wake ups where like, oh shit, this is a big thing I'm supposed to learn. The first one was when my sister had her AVM rupture, which is kind of like an aneurysm. So she went from being a 7-year-old healthy child to being in a hospital bed and not being able to speak or communicate or move. And she's still like that. So it's been 13 years. When that happened, I like the whole spiritual process, I was not aware of it. I didn't know what was going on in me. And I just felt like, okay, there's something more. There's something else. I have to just go there and take a leap of faith. And then when I started traveling like throughout Latin America and in Africa as well, like there were many times that I would have these big wake ups and be like, oh shit, okay, sit down, think about this, absorb. Um, but I think it wasn't until I sat with mushrooms for the first time with psilocybin that I actually realized with my full body and my full spirit what gratitude actually means. And psilocybin is so beautiful in that way because I know that this is like somewhat of a universal experience. I know that maybe not everybody has this experience also, but they really show you what it feels like to have that gratitude present. Like what does it feel like to have every single cell in your body vibrating to the frequency of gratitude? And it's this huge invitation. It's like, oh, okay, I've been shown what this could feel like. If I choose something else, that's on me. If I don't do that, if I don't follow that, that's on me. And how could I not? Like, how am I going to choose something else? Like, to me, there's not a choice. To me, it's like the medicine has shown you something. There's no going back now. You have to just keep leaning into it and keep asking the questions and keep recognizing the sacred wisdom in the plants and the animals and everything around us all the time. So that's kind of what my process has been. I also feel like the every time I sit with medicine, it's always different. Like the core lesson is different. And one of the things that has come through recently with I just sat with Bufo in August. Bufo really showed me my fear. And of course, after everything I've just told you, I've done a lot of things, even if I was scared, like terrified to do it. I still did it anyways. And I went in thinking, I'm scared to do this medicine because I know it's going to be so intense. Because Bufo, like, Sapito is like, you're going to fucking Jupiter, whether you want to go or not. Like, it's taking you somewhere else. Um, and I actually really looked at my fear. And it's funny because when I was coming out of the experience, there were two wasps on this little pole next to me. And I started communing with them. And I was like, why are people afraid of you? Like, why do people run away and they're so afraid to get stung by you? And why do people think that your life is less important because you sting? Like, wasps have a job to do, like everybody does. They're contributing to the greater web of life and the ecosystem and everything. So why would I be afraid of that? And then also like comes back to all the little things like our nervous system sometimes, creates cortisol because we think that we're in a situation of great risk. And cortisol is not necessarily a bad hormone. Of course it's not. It's like the thing that helps us wake up every morning. But like sometimes we overproduce it because in our minds we think that we're at risk somehow, and we think that there's something that's going to harm us, and we sometimes can't even put our finger on what that is. And so the spiritual growth for me at the moment is recognizing that I don't have to be afraid of absolutely anything. Like, yeah, maybe if I'm about to crash in a plane, I might be a little scared. But actually, like, I don't even think we should be afraid of death. Like, if you can integrate the concept of death and actually accept that you're going to die and you could die at any moment, that's freedom. Because then you live your life without worrying and without having constant fear of thinking about what could go wrong. Does that serve you for anything? Absolutely not. And so for me, it's like at the moment, I know that the only thing that I want to do is make art. And I just want to do that. And I want to spend as much time as possible doing that and being a vessel and listening to the world around me and being grounded and grateful and just soaking up everything about the human experience and just enjoying because I could literally die right now. Actually okay. Like if I died tomorrow, like yeah, look at all the shit that I did, like all the crazy experiences I have. And I won't, obviously hope that I get to reach old age and have even more experiences. But I really think that the key to spiritual growth and life is actually leaning into pleasure and leaning into enjoyment.
Oh, oh. There's so many good bits in there that I could riff off, but I actually just want to leave it there. Like that's the code. And every time I've taken giant leaps into the unknown, it's just been beautiful. And like how often do we let fear dictate what we do with our lives? And nobody gets out alive. Nobody gets out alive. You know what I mean? So like you have to build your relationship with death. And I feel very, very grateful that, you said like if you died today, like you no regrets, like you did the thing, and I feel the same way. Like I have absolutely made the most of my life wherever I could. And like obviously there's like places we can always get better and refine. But like if I died tomorrow, like I did it, you know? And like, wow, ah, that's gratitude, you know?
Yeah. And also like I think, it's gonna keep getting better. But one thing that's like really key is, yeah, how good can it get? And if it all goes away, it's also gonna be fine. Like trust in yourself and trust in the universe that no matter what happens, even if you die, it's gonna be okay. Like, I'm not about to go like jump off a bridge or anything. Like, I don't want to die, of course. But like, if something happened, if I got sick or something like that, I think it would only invite me to lean into aliveness even more and lean into it every day until the end because that's all there is. Like, that's really it. Just enjoying.
And to some degree, like obviously I'm not planning on dying anytime soon, but like I'm almost excited, you know, for like what's on the other side of that. Like that's really the great mystery. Like no one actually like here really has a good idea. I have my suspicions, but like I'm kind of intrigued. That's like the last voyage. So man, it's like when that flips, that inverse flips, it's like send it. We only get one life.
With with different medicines, experiencing the ego death is like the closest thing that we have during our lives, unless we have a near death experience, I guess. But like with Bufo, I really did die. Like I completely dissolved into the universe and it was fucking awesome.
Thanks so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed the show. If you did enjoy the show, don't forget to like and subscribe below. It really helps a growing channel like this out. And click up here, it'll take you to a collection of the best this podcast has to offer.